I'm running for Congress because I believe, once again, in the history of our country, a generation is challenged to rise up and to stand up for the protection and the furtherance of our democracy. For we are living at a time of profound transgression against our own principles. And that transgression has to do with the fact that moneyed forces now exert such an undue influence over the functioning of our government, so disproportionate to the influence that is wielded by the average citizen, as to represent the de-democratization of the United States of America.
I think the state of the country right now is one where we have gotten a bit lost.
We have siphoned off major resources of our country, both material and immaterial, and this is a trend now that has been going on for decades, by which we have siphoned off these resources into the hands of a very few, leaving everyone else to fend for themselves, in far too many cases unable to do so.
We have fallen asleep at the wheel, and we have let people make decisions while we have not been paying attention, and those decisions are leading us astray.
Millions of people falling into poverty and all of its attendant horrors through no fault of their own.
There's a problem in the political system right now, and I find that we have to approach solving this problem in a new way.
Some of the statistics we know, but I don't think we dwell enough on the human suffering that lies behind those statistics. We know that 1% of our population controls 38 to 40% of our wealth. We know that 60% of our population lives on 2.3% of our wealth. But do we really allow ourselves sometimes to take in, to really open our minds and hearts to what that means for millions of people? We have, for instance, among all advanced nations of the world, we have the second highest child poverty rate. We're second only to Romania. We have the highest mass incarceration rate, higher than Russia, higher than China, higher than Iran. We have 2.4 million people who are incarcerated in the United States.
Marianne has the tools, the capability, the intellect, the ideology that is going to push against status quo.
If there's going to be a pattern interruption, it's not going to come from the political status quo. Ladies and gentlemen, it's got to come from the people. Why? Looking to the political status quo to fix this situation is increasingly naive, increasingly unreasonable, because they created the situation.
Our United States Supreme Court passed a law that makes it appropriate and okay for corporations to give money in ways that can't be tracked. This is no longer a government of the people. It's a government of high-dollar corporations.
There are too many moneyed interests. The parties are split. They're fighting against each other. No one is being served, except corporations.
Corporations are not people. The people. We the people. That's what our country was founded on.
The great moral challenge of our generation is to get the money out of politics.
Can we just talk about people first and human lives? Does it matter? Can it matter a little bit more than money? And that's what she absolutely speaks to.
This didn't come from nowhere. There were specific tax laws, specific trade laws, specific banking laws, which created this siphoning.
This is a major opportunity in politics to make a change, and if we don't do it with Marianne, I don't see anyone else raising their hand or raising their voice to make a difference.
We're living at a time where we are making a mockery of the Gettysburg Address. President Lincoln went to that battlefield after tens of thousands of men had died there, what we can only assume to have been horrific deaths. And he spoke from the depth of his soul, and he said that those men had not died in vain, because they had died so that a government of the people and by the people and for the people would not perish from this earth. Ladies and gentlemen, it is perishing.
The very democracy that we were founded upon, democracy itself, is under threat. And she's willing to trade everything she's got to go and defend democracy, and that's why she's running for Congress.
We have become, in our time, a government of a few of the people, and by a few of the people, and for a few of the people. And if we are going to change this fundamental social contract between the American people and our government, could we please have a conversation about this?
Marianne has a way of simplifying what we might think are very complex issues, and she'll get right down to the truth of it.
She believes and she cares about equality, prosperity, education, nutrition, and the environment.
People can relate to her message because she truly speaks to the individual.
What I know about Marianne is she is a woman who is willing to let no matter what comes her way, to not lose her way in bringing forth what she deeply believes and what she profoundly knows can really help all of us in America.
The whole political system is so dominated by entrenched, calcified thought forms. There's a lock on that door, but it is up to us to unlock that door. And if anybody can, we can.
Marianne Williamson represents a dramatic shift away from the status quo and business as usual and politics as usual.
She's offering an invitation for us to step up in a big way, to begin to generate the world that we all would feel proud to leave to future generations.
I see her in Congress, and I see her affecting the change that needs to be made to lift this country from where it is and shine light on the issues that need to be shown.
If I have the honor and the privilege of representing you in Washington, I will gladly say these things on the floor of the House of Representatives. I will gladly say that we in this part of the country feel that humanitarian and not economic values should guide our civilization, that we need a politics of conscience and a new bottom line.
Her deep belief in the inalienable rights of every person for life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, that longing that's in every one of us, is not only why she's running, but what she stands for.
The one thing that I'm known for is speaking my mind. I would love to speak my mind in Washington, and I would not only speak my mind, I would speak my heart. Thank you.